Call came in through dispatch. The lady heard something screaming under the hood of her truck.
That wasn't the engine purring in Carolyn McEwen's truck.
An unhappy little kitten scared to death.
His head's stuck in a hole. He's like tried to fit his body through the hole, and you can see his little head.
He's trying to come out that hole, but
Officer Kevin Lemon has seen this thing before.
most of the time it's not a happy ending. They wound up in the fan belt. You got any screwdrivers in there? In your garage?
But not today, if he can help it.
It's only been about 25 years since I tore into an engine, so I could really use a socket here.
He takes off this part and that part, but the cat won't budge.
Feels like it is totally wedged in there.
Come on, stinker.
Scared and upset.
Lord, could you help us here?
Like it feels like there is no room on either side of his head.
But just when it's time to call a welder,
I think we're gonna get him out.
the cat comes free.
Lord. Oh, we got it. Or you got it.
Carolyn decides to keep the little rascal.
I believe he will be lucky.
Lucky that Officer Lemon knows his way under a hood.
I haven't told you the bad news yet. You're gonna have this hauled to the Chrysler dealer and have it put back together.
Sort of. In Des Moines, Rachel Parker, Channel 13 News.
You good little baby.
I think it's surprising what's going on.
And we're like, cool, man, let's go walk. And now there's like all this stuff, and we're like, whoa.
It's an unsettling sight,
We walk every day on the bridge, and it upsets us.
especially in this typically serene setting.
I wouldn't have any idea how you'd get it out of there.
Hikers out on a morning stroll
Oh, man.
can't help but stop and stare.
Curiosity, had to see what it looked like.
There, on a pedestrian bridge spanning Gray's Lake, sits a septic truck. And yes, it's fully loaded.
Might want to watch out so you don't hook on the top side of that valve.
Tim Smith knows what unpleasantries await anyone who makes a wrong move.
I was gonna say, because you're gonna have a bath.
Overnight, Tim learned someone had been joyriding in his tanker,
Well, somebody stole my big truck last night.
making a raw deal even worse.
They stole my big truck.
The vandals tried to torch the truck, waste and all.
They drove it out there, and then they stuck a PVC pipe on the gas pedal, and then just jumped out of it or did something.
That's crazy.
As record trucks maneuver to the tanker,
It's gonna be a while before I can get your unit to you.
Tim tries to balance the rest of the day's work,
Is that all right?
but finding out who would flee with a load of feces, well, Tim can't even begin to imagine.
Just wish whoever did it just had something better to do there rather than to ruin trucks.
In Des Moines, John Cahill, Channel 13 News.
Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
6-year-old Quinn Crum can't wait to see her daddy. He's been away in Iraq for a whole year,
He's been calling me and sending me emails.
but he missed her birthday party and the day she lost her tooth.
First of all, Mom got the floss stuck on it, and then Mom tried to get it off, and it came off, and then I swallowed it.
Quinn has 4 older brothers, but Mom Julie says it's her little girl that misses Dad the most.
Trying to explain to Quinn what this was all about, I don't know how much she really can grasp.
Well, she certainly grasps what's going on today,
It means that Daddy's coming home.
but first she has to wait a little bit.
How long will it take?
They have to get off the bus.
And even though he finally gets here,
Daddy, Daddy, Daddy!
there is still more waiting. For Quinn,
Do you see Daddy now?
No. I can't see him.
and her daddy. In fact, everyone has to wait just a little longer for the hugs and kisses to start.
Hey, baby!
Give me a kiss. Mwah. Love you. Oh, I love you. Mwah. How's my baby? Thanks. What, Pumpkin? Oh, yeah.
I'm on TV.
But being on TV isn't the only thing she'll remember about this day. In Jefferson, Rachel Parker, Channel 13 News.
Mwah. Love you, sons.
You're kind of happy, and you're forgetting about it when you're not thinking, and then
Just when it all comes back, it hurts so much.
The accident is still there.
Turnover now. Quick feet. Bang, 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 bang.
But after a few days, it's just best to get back to life and around people to talk about what's changed.
It's sad that it had to take a death of a friend to make us all realize that, you know, this might be the last day. You might not come home.
Good job, good job. Okay, next group, let's go.
Sometimes kids seem to bounce back so quickly.
Couldn't believe it happened because she's good, happy.
And sometimes they come back a few hours after the burial just because they couldn't get close enough to the casket to say goodbye.
We just felt like we needed to come over here, so.
Kids live in the moment. Watch them cheering on the Collins-Maxwell-Baxter Raiders.
Would you please join us now for a moment of silence?
Then look at their faces 5 minutes earlier.
To the wife, Kirsten, Kid, Osama.
Kids bounce back quickly. As the sun set on a long day, among the crowd, the parents who buried their daughter in the morning arrived to spend the night.
Because if Kirsten were here, this is where she'd be.
Their presence a testament to the power of community and faith.
Everybody asks, what can we do for you? We tell them, tell us that you love us and pray for us and pray continually.
Second touchdown.
Speaking of answered prayers, CMB hadn't won a game all year, but they jumped to a quick 2-touchdown lead.
Kirsten would really be enjoying this.
Oh, yeah.
With her parents in the stands and her friends wearing so many memories you would never know, they all just said goodbye this morning. Mark Tauschek, Channel 13 News. Des Moines skyline already has recognizable landmarks. 801 Grand, the Capitol, the Botanical Center bubble, and, in the past year, Big Blue. Of course, there's the latest addition to the Des Moines skyline. That's the new Iowa Event Center, which is rapidly nearing completion. Is it crooked?
It looks a lot like other event centers to me. Nothing in particular. Why?
How could you miss it? The roof has a noticeable slant. It's not scientific, but trust us, our handheld level shaking from 500 feet away proves it slants to the south. Looking at it, does anything strike you about it?
It's interesting. It's kind of asymmetrical.
Finally, a second opinion. The project manager swears the event center is not sinking. He says one end was intentionally made 12 feet higher to improve seating for concerts in the arena.
And there's far more seats on the north end of the arena than on the south. One aspect of that is like an in-stage concert would be on the south end of the arena bowl with all the seats opening up to the north.
Once you notice it, you'll never look at the event center the same.
It doesn't bother me. I think it's interesting. I'm into that. I'm from a big city.
Well, if crooked buildings is what it takes to get Des Moines to the next level of big city, you're probably best off taking it one building at a time. Just after sunrise at Waterworks Park, the routine has already begun. Fishermen are set up, walkers are on a familiar path, and the park's resident attractions are up for breakfast. The day started like any other for these 300 or so Canadian honkers, except for those humans over there.
This junk we're going to have to keep pretty stout because we're going to have a bunch of birds in here today.
Little did these geese know they would not be going to bed where they woke up.
The birds are undergoing a molt and they're flightless, and it's about the only way that we can round up.
Each year, geese at Waterworks have to be removed because they're living under the flight path of Des Moines International. So when they start losing their flying feathers, the DNR has about 3 weeks when the birds are grounded. This team of DNR and Waterworks employees have done this the past 3 years. Their first step, get the geese out of the water.
Tell them to go easy.
To where the men on shore can herd them, funneling the geese towards a pen.
Okay, seal the backside for me.
This is the easy part. The hard part comes when the birds realize they've run out of room. Many are repeat offenders, the same geese taken out of here last year, and they have good memories.
We have a saying that if you pull into the parking lot, they can read the DNR emblem.
They never go easy.
Uh-oh. Okay. That's pretty tough. Is it? Yeah, I'm sweating. I don't like that.
After the last one is rounded up, it's a one-way trip out of town. Waterworks Park, for now, is a goose-free zone.
They evaded us anyway, somehow today.
Almost. Mark Toshik, Channel 13 News.
You look like you kick roaches in the corner with it, you know?
Tony Green does not hold back his opinions. If you don't take care of your shoes, he'll let you hear it.
And if you look at him, it makes me wonder how he wears these shoes.
Tony's been known as the shoe shine guy at the state capitol for more than a decade now, and he gets plenty of news from the influential people who've sat in his chair, especially this week.
Now, people may say yes to the fact that they want a tax or some additional gambling to be put in, but they'll say no in front of their friends.
To Tony, the rub he gets from lawmakers on gambling is pretty clear.
Everybody usually basically has a view, yes or no. There's no in between.
They tell him about the nearly 100 amendments they've proposed that'll scuff the gambling debate. Things like no more racetracks, no more ATMs on casinos, a 50-cent admission charge on the casinos, mental health parity, whatever that is, and even something that makes them list everyone on the casino that makes more than $30,000 a year. What would Tony do if he had the day in the chair?
I'm not for it as far as gambling, but, you know, anything that's going to help people is what I'm interested in.
Tony will stick to just listening to their opinions, well, and offer one prediction that won't lose its luster Thursday.
It's going to be like pulling teeth. They could give me a good job. Okay.
Way crack. All the people I know like comic books. I think comics are awesome. Whammo! Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. I really like the Teen Titans. Teen Titans, go! One of them can even change into any animal. Tiger-style attack. Growl!
The only people that I know of that would say that they can't find a comic they'd like to read haven't tried.
No!
Comics are a medium, just like television or movies, and can tell any kind of story.
They're starting to come out with like more comic book movies.
Batman,
X-Men,
Spider-Man 2.
That many people going to see a movie, you're gonna have some flow over into, wow, that was really cool. You know, maybe I'll go grab a Spider-Man comic book.
So I think the comic movies that are coming out are also being well done enough that people are starting to become interested in the source material.
And we're hoping to tie into that with Free Comic Book Day.
Bam!
The idea behind Free Comic Book Day is stop in, get comics.
So we're trying to promote comic books to the general public.
If somebody has not necessarily been willing to take the plunge with a purchase, that maybe we can get some comics in their hands other ways, and hopefully once you get them hooked, they'll keep coming back.
If it's going to grow, you got to have more readers. You have to have more customers come in.
The interest is growing. Hopefully the sales will grow along with that.
I would actually buy all the comics in the world.
When I see a child reading a comic book and gets that big grin and that, ooh, turns the page, real excited to find out what happens next, that makes me happier than making more money.
Ding, that's it.
Because that's how I felt when I was reading comics as a kid.
Whack! Boom!
In its 122-year history, Bradgate never had so many people in town at one time. You could spot the locals, a slow pace, still digesting what hit them, searching for their possessions.
Ain't gonna be able to save nothing.
Then there were the legions of volunteers anxious to do whatever they could. But this is not the first time the spotlight has found Bradgate. Almost every local with ties to the old days has a copy of the August 1950 edition of Life magazine, the one with General MacArthur on the cover and Bradgate on page 92.
They took a picture of a cat walking a railroad track and some older men sitting on a bench uptown.
The headline of this 4-page spread was not so flattering. An Iowa town dies a slow death.
Oh yeah, they had a little donkey in town they took a picture of. They wanted the worst of it.
The story portrayed the town as a typical dying rural community. Soon after, though, Bradgate decided to adopt a new slogan and put it on a sign into the city. Under the flag, it prominently read, Bradgate.
The town that wouldn't die.
Unfortunately, that response to Life magazine and symbol of the town's strength blew away.
Well, I'm feeling fine. I look much worse than what I feel.
But if you need proof of how tough Bradgate can be, come into the home of Bernice Wolcott, the woman who came face to face with a tornado.
I seen the neighbor's tree coming at me, and I stepped back, but didn't step back fast enough, and I got hit with insulation and a 2x4 or something.
With a broken nose and black eyes, she is the center of attention for neighbors, her children, and grandchildren.
Sit down, we'll take care of you. They took care of us for so many years, now it's our turn.
Bernice sat back and watched her family work with inmates from Rockwell City, but really, her yard didn't look any different from what was going on in yards across the city. Strangers, side by side, working to rescue Bradgate.
Words can't express it.
You know, you can't say how much you appreciate them. Just thank God they're here.
Yeah.
Is she talking about her parents or the volunteers? These days in Bradgate, it could be either one. Proving Life magazine wrong for 54 years has not been easy. The tornado will be the town's biggest challenge to its existence. But look in the yards and look at the people. Bradgate is already on its way to reestablishing itself as the little town that wouldn't die.
We'll rebuild again.
In Bradgate, Mark Tauschek, Channel 13 News.
Got that part done. It gets to be a bigger headache every year. I guess it's because I'm getting older.
At Merlin Fort's home, Halloween is an opening act.
I usually start the 1st of October.
The Dakota City man knows the big show will come later.
We've got about 5 weeks before we turn them on now.
18 years ago, Merlin decided his Christmas display needed more.
Way over 100,000 now. I keep adding a few more every year, so I don't know where it's going to end.
So now, with help of his friend Tim, who specializes in hard-to-reach places,
I threw the rope down on the other side.
Merlin and his miles of lights have become a part of Humboldt County's Christmas tradition.
I don't think there's anybody alive who gets on their hands and knees and do what I do to bring Christmas to everybody.
We went back to visit Merlin Thanksgiving Day, 2 months after he began. We wanted to see the finished work.
All right.
We're glad we went back.
Every year more people get out and then the word spreads, and so sometimes there's 100 people out there and I'm trying to talk to all of them.
You can stand and look at this for hours. I know I could.
Walk all over, I don't care. Can't hurt nothing.
Merlin says this should be the last year he decorates.
I gotta quit someday. I'm 75, you know, mercy.
Of course, he says that every year.
When you make at least 40,000 people happy every year, that's quite a feeling.
Looks like Wonderland out here.
With photojournalist in Humboldt County, Mark Tauschek, Channel 13 News.
We're just scooping the loop.
Party.
It's a fun thing to do.
Oh yeah!
About every weekend.
And during the summer, every night.
Bunch of friends getting together, meeting new people. I think they're out here trying to show off their cars and see if they can beat any young ladies.
Look for the guys.
Hey guys.
Hi!
Checking out the chicks.
Hey, come here.
I gotta get your number.
A bunch of guys told us we look beautiful, so basically do it for the nice comments.
Hey, shorty!
Sometimes we look for the guys with the nice cars, but sometimes look for the guys with the nice looks.
What's your number?
For us, good nights with lots of girls, the girls that talk to us, and guys that don't want to fight us.
Hang on, I gotta kill him. He violated my car.
There's a lot of people out here just looking to fight all the time. I don't know. Actually, like right here at this intersection, I've seen like cars block a person in and they like pulled him out of his car and beat him up before.
Did you violate my car, punk? Stop running!
It looks pretty harmless to me.
I don't see the excitement. I mean, going around and around and around in circles is... I don't know.
That is a good question.
There's nothing else to do in Des Moines.
Nothing to do really in Iowa.
Looking for drama.
I think the basic reason why most people come and scoop the loop is it's cheap probably. All you got to pay is gas, but it's pretty much free entertainment.
Yeah, it's cheaper than going to the club. That's how you roll. It's like, you guys got to move on.
About to head home.
That's about it.
Today, it's Iowa, the Gator Baiters, versus Florida, harassing the Hawkeyes. Next.
Despite the early wake-up call, Hawkeye fans didn't need much help shaking off New Year's Eve.
Walk somebody! Fred Russell.
Shot it! Shot it!
By the time the Hawks had their first points on the board, fans could barely contain themselves. But the front row bar wasn't the only party in town.
There it goes. Almost the first down.
Residents at Scottish Rite Park were making some noise too.
Go! Oh.
Freddie Russell finding it, feeling it, doing it, and doing it well. Touchdown, Iowa!
Oh my God! Wonderful.
No matter where you were or who you are, it was a day Iowans watched together.
Inside option dropped, and that's an incomplete pass.
Oh dear.
And celebrated together.
I was hoping, but I didn't think it'd happen like this.
This one from 38.
Two parties cheering the same team with the same passion.
No. Almost, but...
Just different breakfasts.
Keep it simple, keep it straight, and try to make a good, clean shot.
Good.
I'm Gary Denner, and I won the Phillips 66 Big 12 tournament, a grand prize. It was a trip for two to the Big 12 tournament, and also get to shoot on Saturday afternoon between the semifinal games, 4 shots for $10,000 apiece.
There, you're back on track. Real good.
Gary Thompson has helped, as well as Coach Bob Sunvold.
I said, have you ever played basketball? No, he said, not since junior high. I said, have you shot any shots with anybody out on the hoop, on the garage or anything? No, but he said, I did run out and buy a basketball.
The thing that I'm hoping is that he can keep his pre-shot routine the same, so that even though he's just shooting in front of a couple of us here, it won't change when he gets, 17,000 on Saturday.
The biggest thing I'm concerned about probably is going to be the distractions of everything that's happening, the crowd, the noise, that type of thing.
Would you tell Neil to bring that CD with crowd noise on it?
Get ready. It's going to be loud. Your eyes are following up with the ball, and that shortens your follow-through. So what I want you to do is concentrate on the front of the rim, and when you shoot that, when you release it, continue to look at the front of the rim.
What I want to focus on is a good routine of just walking up to the line, taking a deep breath, making sure I've got good motion and spin on the ball. If
I make some shots, wonderful. But, you know, it's a good getaway for my wife and me.
Pressure's on. You got to make one. You've got 3 in a row. 40,000 right there.
Baby needs new shoes.
I'm cleaning the clapper mechanisms of a Dutch bell with kerosene and steel wool.
Marlo Cowan is one of a kind.
I haven't got this yet where I want it.
From his workshop in Ankeny, he does what no other American and few in the world can do.
I've got to work on this. See, this is what comes in. They come in like this with a crack.
He knows how to fix every type of handbell.
People say, well, can't I repair my own bells? And I said, well, yeah, you could. And it takes a little doing. You can't do it in 5 minutes.
Marlo receives bells from every state, repairing approximately 1,000 a year, and he's never even advertised his services. But while his bell biz is booming,
no, this is not particularly the part that we enjoy.
He doesn't just fix them.
Merry Christmas!
Every Christmas season, Marlo plays them.
Hey, that's fun. Merry Christmas!
On several afternoons, he and his wife Frances set up outside a store and take Salvation Army bell ringing to another level.
Thank you, Matt. We really appreciate it. Have a nice Christmas.
Playing homemade instruments that ring.
Merry Christmas!
Their performances together date back to their days at Iowa State when Marlo first laid eyes on a young Frances performing.
She was playing the piano over there, and so I was attracted to the piano. And so that's kind of how we met.
They've been sharing their lives and the stage ever since with a vaudeville-based routine.
Music has been the most important thing, I think, that's kept us enjoying each other and enjoying life.
Now both are in their mid-80s.
Lucky to be here tonight. We're lucky to be any place at our age.
And they're still in perfect harmony. A few times a year, they'll pull out their assortment of homemade instruments. Instruments that have to be seen to be understood.
I don't like it, but I don't have to listen to it. But a lot of places we go where people will come up and say, we haven't laughed so much in years.
Isn't that pathetic? Turn it. He's crazy.
That's not a very nice word. I'll take it.
After 57 years of marriage, they're not only fun to watch perform, it's also fun to see two people so meant to be together.
Well, we feel like if we've been given a talent, we should share it.
That's right.
And make pleasure and happiness in other people.
You know, it isn't very often that somebody gets to share talent with such a beautiful partner.
Oh, man, listen to this. Oh.
Well, it's the truth.
What are you doing?
Merry Christmas!
Mark Tauschak, Channel 13 News.
Thank you! Merry Christmas!